Okay, so for this skill, I made my a value be 10, my b value be 10 root 3, and then I found tangent of theta to be negative 60 degrees, and then I was able to find my modulus to be 20 by doing 10 squared plus 10 root 3 squared into the square root of that, which gave me my modulus to be 20, and then my argument was that negative 60 degrees. So then the first thing that I did is I plugged my modulus and my argument into the equation r times parentheses cosine theta plus I sine theta, which gave me z is equal to 20 parentheses cosine negative 60 plus I sine negative 60. Now that I knew in order to find z to the 7th power, I had to raise my r value to 7, and then I had to multiply my angle measures by 7, which gave me z to the 7th is equal to 20 to the 7th times parentheses cosine negative 60 times 7 plus I sine negative 60 times 7, which that ended up simplifying to z to the 7th is equal to 1,280 billion, times cosine negative 420 plus I sine negative 420, which simplified to 1,128 billion times 0.5 plus I times 0.5. Next, using the same value for z that I got in the other part, I was able to find what the fifth roots of that equation were. So using the equation z is equal to 20 cosine negative 60 plus I sine negative 60, I plugged my r and theta values into the equation for roots, which was the nth root of z is equal to the nth root of r times cosine parentheses theta plus 360k divided by n plus I sine parentheses 0 plus 360k divided by n, where n is the number of roots and k is equal to 0, 1, 2, all the way to n minus 1. So when plugging in the values to my equation, I got the fifth root of z is equal to the fifth root of 20 times cosine negative 60 plus 360k divided by 5 plus I sine negative 60 plus 360k divided by 5. For the first root, I plugged in 0 for k to get the fifth root of z is equal to 1.82 cosine negative 60 plus 360 times 0 divided by 5 plus I sine negative 60 plus 360 times 0 divided by 5, which ended up simplifying to the fifth root of z is equal to 1.82 times cosine negative 12 plus I sine negative 12. Next, I plugged in k to be 1, which gave me the second root, which ended up simplifying to the fifth root of z is equal to 1.82 cosine 60 plus I sine 60. Next, I plugged in k is equal to 2 into that same equation, which simplified to the fifth root of z is equal to 1.82 cosine 132 plus I sine 132. After that, then I plugged in k is equal to 3 to get another one of the roots to be 1.82 cosine 204 plus I sine 204. And finally, I plugged in k is equal to 4 to get my final root to be the fifth root of z is equal to 1.82 times cosine 276 plus I sine 276.